It's approximately half an acre.
So you think that you're worth almost $500 a mow for half an acre? Kirk, is that what you're telling me? Doesn't that sound stupid to you?
It does sound stupid.
It does sound stupid. Well, I'm glad you at least say it does sound stupid. Because according to your stepfather, let's say you took your stepfather's figure of $325, and if you mow the lawn twice, according to you, that's $160 a mow. That's even high for half an acre, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
But it's not $500 a mow for half an acre. So you see, what I'm trying to get across to you, Kirk, is if you think that you're going to second-guess the answers to these questions, don't do it.
I'm not just second-guessing.
Yes, you are, sir. Okay. Because I just made you look very foolish, which wasn't your intention, I assume.
No.
Is this your girlfriend?
Yes.
So I assume you don't want to look like a fool in front of your girlfriend.
No.
Did he just look foolish?
I suppose.
You wouldn't think he's worth $500 to mow half an acre, would you?
I don't have a half an acre.
You know what half an acre looks like?
Yes.
You think that that's a lot of money to mow half an acre?
Yeah.
Yeah, unless he cuts it with the tweezers. When he only mowed the lawn once, did you say to him, hey, Kirk, the deal was you're supposed to mow the lawn for the summer?
I never see him, so, I mean, I came home from work, the lawn was mowed, and that was it. And he rarely ever talks to me. We never have contact, and he hasn't spoken to me in quite some time. So, no, I did not get the opportunity to do that.
Step up. What about you? Did you call your son and say to your son you were supposed to come over and mow the lawn?
That was originally for the $325. He had made a payment of like $100, I think, originally on that.
You gave him $100?
Yes.
Kirk, when you make a partial payment, that's evidence of a loan. Do you know that? I just taught you a piece of law. What's next?
For the next time, we had to pay court fines and court fees of, well, there were several. There was $918 to the 59th District Court. There was $200.
What is that? Was that for?
That was, he was either going to go to jail or we paid $918 to keep him out of jail.
Was that a different time, Kirk?
It was for the driving on a suspended.
Well,
that's
you
the
had
only violation they bailed me out of jail for.
You had several of those, according to you.
Yes, I have had several, but that was the only one that they've bailed me out of jail for, the only time they've bailed me out of jail for anything.
Well, that's $918
And I'm
was court
deeply
costs.
under the impression, because in Zealand, the police I had got pulled over, and a police officer said that I was told on by Mr. and Mrs. Bell for driving on a suspended license. And so I was under the impression that my mother is the one who's told on me for driving on suspended and got me the bail fines, and I've been under the impression that she bailed me out of feeling sorry. And it's not something I've brought up to her because, you know, I don't...
Just a minute. So what you think is that your mother notified the police that you were driving on... I'm speaking.
Yes, ma'am.
For the second time. And that you believe that the reason she bailed you out of jail was because she felt guilty about having told the police that you were breaking the law. Is that what you're telling me? I just want to make sure that that's what you're telling me.
Yes, Your Honor, but...
All right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Sorry, I mistakenly said the wrong person.
You make a lot of mistakes, Kirk.
Yeah, I do.
Where are you working now?
I work at the New Holland Brewery.
What?
And later today...
Was she with her husband or not with her husband?
Yes, for a few months, I guess, before he went to prison.
What'd they do, let you out by mistake?
Yes.
It's not a mistake now, is it?
No.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. David Diekema says his stepson, Kirk Smith, owes for loans to bail him out of jail. Kirk says his mother forgave the loan.
How much did you lend him altogether?
Altogether, it was $3,476.
And how much did he pay back?
$1,150.
Okay, Kirk, you got 30 seconds to convince me that you don't owe your stepfather $2,326. And your time starts right now.
Well, I feel that, you know...
Forget mowing the lawn.
I've forgotten about it. They haven't been, you know, done much for me. And this time that they helped me out, they told me, it wasn't my mom that told me I didn't have to pay, it was Dave. He said, you know, don't worry about it, you know, get yourself on track and all that kind of stuff. And that is why I feel that I don't owe that.
I did tell him at one time that he did not have to worry about making timely payments because he could not make the payments, and that it was okay if we stretched it out beyond the original time that we set up, he and I agreed upon.
Which was what time?
We agreed upon 1 year to pay this money back, and so there were several times where he could not make any payments to me, and I said that that was okay, we'll just stretch the loan out longer, but that did not mean that he did not have to pay that money back.
You did not forgive the loan, you just gave him additional time to pay it.
That is correct.
Did you ever tell your son he didn't have to pay back the money?
No. No, it was Dave that told me that.
Well, that's not what you say in your answer. In your answer, you say it was your mother.
Well, because earlier you asked me and you said that my mom told me it was Dave, and sorry, I mistakenly said the wrong person. I'm correcting myself now. It was Dave that had told me that, and he did say that.
You make a lot of mistakes, Kirk.
Yeah, I do.
Where are you working now?
I work at the New Holland Brewery.
What? Yeah, all these people think that that's very funny. I mean, it's rude of them, but there is a certain honesty about it that is inescapable. You owe your stepfather $2,326. Take care of your responsibilities. You're 21 years old?
Yes.
Stop making mistakes. You're getting too old to make mistakes.
Yeah, I know.
And I would suggest that you stop making mistakes, too. That's all.
All these are excuses. You may step out.
I'd like to see us move forward and be able to look beyond this.
I've never really, gotten to know him to begin with.
Hopefully everybody can learn that this was a lesson and forgive.
The police officer in Zeeland had told me that somebody had called the cops and he made inclination on who it was.
Just hope he learns from it, that's all.
I can't really say there's been much of a relationship to begin with, so.
I hope that we can have a relationship in the future.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Landers versus Lowry. Step forward.
Forklift operator Daryl Landers is suing his ex-neighbor, Rochelle Lowry, for an unpaid loan for tires and lost wages. Rochelle is countersuing for assault and harassment.
Mr. Landers, it is your claim that you made a loan to the defendant during the time when she was separated from her husband. I assume this is your husband?
Yes, ma'am.
The loan was for tires for her car. You want that money back.
Yes.
You say that you gave her other monies, you paid for other things during the course of your brief relationship. You don't want that money back because that was a gift, but the tires clearly a loan.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Lowry says that the tires as well were a gift from you. There was never any discussion of repayment for the tires. And she has a counterclaim because she says that you became both abusive and assaultive